that give you the power of cash buying and the ability to market your crop when the time is right. Start exploring all the what ifs you've ever imagined for your business at farmopcapital.com today.
You're listening to and watching the WTIM Morning Show, video streamed on the TatervilleDailyNews.com Facebook page and the WTIM TV channel on YouTube. Our video stream co-sponsored by Landmark of Taterville, where you always do better at Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Our guest on the phone is Hilary Frank, who is a community options recruiter with the EPIC organization. And Hilary, good morning and welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. First of all, tell us what the organization EPIC is.
So at EPIC, we are an agency that supports adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Our mission here is to enrich the lives of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
All right, and this morning we're going to visit about one of the supports that you're here to talk about to us is a host home. For listeners that's not sure what a host home is, tell us about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So EPIC actually started in 1950, and we provided a variety of different services. But in our host homes program, a host home is a shared living model where someone with a disability lives with a provider in the community where they want to live. So EPIC has been a leading agency in this space for over 35 years. We provide, we assist adults of all ages that are 18 and older in finding a home in the community of their choice. And this home is designed to encourage independence and for them to live in the least restrictive environment. So this personalized support gives them the opportunity to become immersed in both the home life with the provider and in the community. And having that provider there in the home provides them with consistency that helps really enrich their lives and helps them develop to their full potential. So the provider can only support no more than 2 people. So they have their own bedroom, they have their own space in the home, and then the provider is there to be that 24/7 point of support for that person. So they provide as little or as much support as that person needs or wants.
So you're looking basically for host homes. Did this start? I know the office from the email that I got, your office is in Peoria, but how large of a geographic area do you look for host families?
Yes, so we are based out of Peoria. We also have an office down in Swansea, Illinois, which is the Illinois side of St. Louis. And we have host homes in 12 different counties currently. So we span a wide range of Illinois, from central Illinois down to southern Illinois. We have host homes in the Springfield area. So we are local to where you guys are located.
That's great. It is fascinating that you integrate those with developmental disabilities into host homes. What a wonderful way to integrate them into the community. And I would suspect that a host family, that would be an opportunity for them to show an awful lot of love to that person or persons as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's really cool to see how they kind of all blend together and they can still spend time with their family. Maybe it's a stepping stone for that person. They don't want to live with mom and dad forever, so they want to take that next step of independence and move out. So it could be a stepping stone for them. Some people will live with a host home temporarily because they want to live on their own eventually. So that provider can help them learn the skills they would need. Or on the other side, we have a couple guys who have lived with their providers for almost 30 years. So it develops into a long, enriching relationship for that person and the provider.
That is fascinating. That is just fascinating. Usually, Hillary, do you locate a host family that is close geographically to where the person is currently living now?
So it just depends on the person's preferences. If maybe the individual wants to live in a new community where maybe they haven't lived before, we would look at the options that we have available for providers in that region. Or maybe they currently live in a group home or another setting in a community far away from their family because that might have been the only option. They can move into a host home that might be closer to their family. So it really just depends on the person's preferences and what area they want to live in.
Hilary, does a family that has someone with a developmental disability that wants to go into a host family setting, do they have to reach out to your organization or do you reach out to them? How do you make that connection?
Yeah, it could be either way. I could, if I'm referred a person that might be interested or would be a good host home provider, I would reach out to them, or they can reach out to me and we can get that process started. I'm with that person from the time they start the process of being interested in becoming a provider all the way until they receive a placement in their home. So we do have a process that they walk through. And so initially they would fill out the application forms and complete the initial steps that they would need to take. And then we at Epic provide all of the training that they would need to become a provider. So they receive different trainings in health and safety, implementing service plans for the people that they support, and then person-centered services. And all of our homes go through fire marshal and DHS inspections. So I take care of coordinating all of those for the providers. They don't have to worry about scheduling those. And I do a walkthrough prior to those inspections to make sure everything's in order and they have everything they need so they don't have to stress about it. And then once they are onboarded, we would start that matching process and look at the preferences of the provider and then the preferences of the individuals and determine somebody that might be a good fit for their home. And then we arrange multiple visits prior to that person moving in so they really get a good feel for what life would look like if they proceeded and moved into that home and make sure it's a good fit for both people.
It sounds like quite a process, but it is also it's a process for a reason because you want both the developmentally disabled person and their family and the host family to all make that connection. Is there any certain timetable for all of that process to occur, or does it vary by person?
Yeah, it varies by person. The DSP training that the providers go through can be completed. A majority of it's completed online from the comfort of the provider's home. And once they complete that online portion, it's 6 modules, so it's at the provider's pace. If they have time to work on it in the evenings only or the weekends, it's kind of up to them to complete that. And then we schedule some on-the-job training with them in person. And then they do a couple other trainings. We do CPR training and medical authorization so they can help them pass medications if needed. So the training is kind of up to the provider and the pace that they go at. And then the inspections for fire marshal and DHS can be scheduled as they're going through those trainings. So it could be anywhere from 3 months to 6 months, kind of just depends on how quickly they work through that training.
We're visiting with Hilary Frank, who's Community Options Recruiter with the EPIC organization. It's an organization for people with developmental disabilities, finding host families for them. And we'll continue our discussion with Hilary on the WTIM Morning Show.
WASD Report Day. Let's check the markets on the RFD Radio Network on this Wednesday. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn steady, beans lower, wheat lower at the sound. March corn $5.99 down 1 3/4. May wheat down $6 1/2. December corn $5.57 3/4 up 1/4. January beans down 3 1/2, $13.73 1/4. March beans down 4 1/4, $13.82 1/4. November beans down 6 3/4, $12.93 1/4. March wheat $7.64 1/4 down 6. May wheat down 6 1/2, $7.66 3/4. July wheat $7.63 1/2 down 5 3/4. January bean meal $4.2640 down 90 cents. January bean oil up 1/4, $59.14. In the livestock market, February live cattle $136.85 down 82 cents. January feeders down 50 cents, $161.57. February lean hog $79.22 up 137. That's a look at the markets on this Wednesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
This is a station editorial. I'm Randall J. Miller, station president. These days, we're hearing a lot about what's called the cancel culture. After doing some reading on this phenomenon, I learned that its basic belief is when we attribute goodness and permissible behavior to ourselves, while at the same time attributing badness and poor behavior to someone else. An online article from the Denver Catholic website says those being canceled fall into one of 3 categories. First, There are the people who behave in a bad way or hold a reprehensible belief, but these things are generally unknown. When they become known, the person is canceled. Second, you have people who have something from their past that surface, which reflects poorly upon them. The difference between them and the first group is that the thing from their past is no longer who they are. Nevertheless, they get canceled. Finally, there are people who live out traditional values and or hold opinions which have become unacceptable by a segment of the population. These people have not been exposed, nor are they living differently than in the past. They've just wandered into a part of our society where they are not welcome. According to this Denver Catholic article, the principal error of cancel culture is that it lacks mercy. No apology is good enough for those who are offended. So, how are we to react to those who are applying the cancel culture to their relationship with us? By holding firm to our beliefs, not to be belligerent or intolerant, leading our lives in a way that our life and faith is compelling, not obnoxious. And while none of us, myself included, should ever be judgmental, we must show love and understanding to respect others. One of the first verses I ever learned in Sunday school was, quote, to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, unquote. That's our opinion. We welcome yours. Our email address is editorial@randyradio.com. That's editorial@randyradio.com. Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show, our live stream co-sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first in Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Our guest by phone is Hilary Frank, Community Options Recruiter with the EPIC organization. It helps find host families for people with developmental disabilities. This is a fascinating program, Hilary, and it sounds like that it is. We were talking about the process before our time out. Let's do the deep dive into that process. And I was asking about the timeline for that, and you were saying that everyone's timeline is different in terms of having a developmental disability person that wants to leave their own family and join a host family. Take us through the timeline of that process. Is there like some numbers as short as or as long as you could share?
Yeah, absolutely. So the DSP training that the providers complete, the minimum amount of days it can take is 21 days. So between 21 to 120 days is about the minimum and maximum that the DSP training can take. And then the fire marshal and DHS kind of depends on their availability. We schedule those with them. So it just depends on when they might have available for us to complete those inspections. And then once we get to the matching process, we could have a match immediately, or it could take a few months. It kind of just depends on the people that are looking for a home setting and if we have a good fit for them.
Well, again, this is a wonderful program to find a host family for someone with a developmental disability, to basically give them another opportunity to have a fresh start and socialize with further folks. Specifically in our geographic area, do you have some host families? Or are you looking for host families?
We have them in the area, not specifically in Taylorville, but we are looking to expand there. And any regions where we don't currently have host homes, our office is outside of the four walls here at EPIC. So we are spread across 15 different counties, and we're always looking to expand into new areas because we know there's a need for services like this in Illinois, and we want to provide that opportunity for people who want to live more independently and have more opportunity to hang out with friends and meet new people through the different opportunities we offer through host homes.
Got about 4 minutes left on the program. Let's talk about the connection, because obviously that connection is very, very important for a family with that has someone with a developmental disability that would want to live in a host family setting to make connection, or for a host family that might be listening to this program and might want to host someone with developmental disabilities. How do they get a hold of you? What are the easiest ways for someone in either one of those buckets to reach out to your organization?
Yes, so if there is someone who's listening who maybe has a child or a friend or a family member that might be interested in living in a host home, they would first want to talk to their individual service coordinator, which is their ISC, kind of like their caseworker. So in Christian County, they would go through CISA, which is Central Illinois Service Access. They can go to their website. It's www.cisagroup.org. And they can reach out to their ISC and let them know that they are interested in learning more about host homes and seeing if they meet the criteria and qualify for the proper funding to live in a host home. So that would be the first step. And if anyone has questions about that process, they can always reach out to us as well. The easiest way to reach us would be you can visit our website at www.epicci.org. You can email me at hfrank, HFRANK, at epicci.org, or you can reach me by phone at 309-854-2019. And Epic's website is a great place with lots of good resources on there, so people can always visit our website to learn more and visit different links, watch different videos. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, so you can find us on all of those different avenues online.
About a minute and a half left, and Hilary, it sounds like that caseworker really is an important piece of the component. Does your agency work with a lot of caseworkers throughout the area that you serve to be able to connect those with developmental disabilities that would want to move out of their own home into a host family setting to make that happen?
Yes, we work with ISCs throughout the state, so it's not always right in this area. We work with ISCs up in Chicago, in the southern part of the state, because people, if they have a certain area of the state they are interested in living, then the ISC would share that information with us and get us connected. Through the ISC, we're able to schedule screenings. We're able to get to know the individuals and learn what their preferences and desires are, so we can best match them with someone that would be a good fit for them.
So the person, a family who has someone with a developmental disability, best thing to do is talk to their caseworker. And for someone that would like to be a host family, it sounds like the best place is go to the website epicci.org. That's EPICCI.org, epicci.org. Hilary, a pleasure to talk to you this morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us.
Thank you. And I will be in Taylorsville on February 8th at 11:30 at the LP Coffee and Creamery at 715 West Springfield Road. So if anybody listening wants to come meet with me and learn more about the program, I will be there and happy to answer any questions.
Super duper. Thanks so much, Hilary.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Hilary Frank, Community Options Recruiter with Epic on our WTIM Morning Show. We are coming up on 10 o'clock and news from SRN on WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nakoma.